can we actually develop the most successful method that's actually going to help people, that's actually going to, from the most fundamental level, it's going to heal you. It's going to build up your life force energy into a big charged cloud energy potential around you. That's, you're going to be able to cash that out in terms of your health. It's going to improve your strength, your stamina, which all corresponds to your health, which, if you're a man, let's say, it corresponds to your sexual market value. All of the characteristics combined, which in the eyes of a woman is like, yep, I want to have sex with that guy. How can we build up the most fundamental life force energy in this way? How many programs are there that's actually going to do that? Tell me. All that which destroys, depletes, siphons off your energy into a false, into a belief system that someone else created, which they flew out there, fly my pretties, and then everyone, it's like put a pair of jumper leads across everyone, siphoning off their energy and making that system work in a certain way under certain parameters, but it's actually because everyone's powering it up. It doesn't have any life force substance of its own. So how can you accumulate, how can you, from the most fundamental baseline, 0 point energy wheel work of the universe, waves, frequency, and energy at the lowest baseline fundamental, build it up, that doesn't depend on anyone else. That's your energy. How do you enhance that? All that which destroys is wrong. All that which builds, strengthens, and nurtures, that's correct. Problem is, the world's a little more complex than that. So now we have to think, okay, all that which sympathizes with that which destroys, and that which leads people astray, that which is dishonest, that which And so you see, this exercise is how I learn to distinguish I learn to distinguish between what is just a visualization, a conceptualization, something is, and I'm doing it right now because I'm using the speech center of my brain, but this is all a second-hand way to perceive reality. What is the first-hand direct way to perceive reality is when this up here relaxes and there is no short circuit between the left brain hemisphere needing to remember something and then the right brain, creative brain, processing that in some way, and then it just, it's mental masturbation. It's just, it's a second-hand way of perceiving reality. It's not a direct way. The direct way is you relax all that, and then the energy starts to build up, the potential, and then I relax myself in my field of energy. Now I perceive reality directly. I would not be at this type of movement is challenging me to perceive reality directly. I need to be directly aware of everything around me in order to orient myself in space-time. And furthermore, in order to allow this baseline fundamental wave to extrapolate itself through, I can't visualize anything, I need to feel. Don't think. Feel. Where is the... If I would rely on normal abilities, if I would rely on the type of cognitive processes which you'd be familiar with, I would be at a disadvantage because those normal cognitive functions were basically knocked out, were severely hampered in me because of my genetics, environment in which I was raised, environmental factors, perhaps the astrological timing, blah 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 blah. All of the what do we call those in Mandarin? Hou Tian. The post heaven factors. So I have to develop, let's say, special abilities to compensate for that. See, now even though what I'm explaining and blah blah blah, it might not make sense and be fully polished in a normal way, but it's not possible for you to. But you see, you already feel uncomfortable because you know that even if as soon as I touch hands with you, my mind is already going to flow through and make you unstable because my brain hemispheres are synchronized more than yours. If I would rely on the way that is recommended and the way that is academia and the typical mainstream, and if I would rely on the way they try to make you use your brain, you would have the advantage. You would be able to make me feel uncomfortable, but because I've now developing something much better than that, now you feel uncomfortable. Well, that would be the reason you would feel uncomfortable if you did feel uncomfortable. If you are humble, if you see it, and then that's better. And ultimately, to harm someone else is ultimately to harm yourself. To be dishonest with other people is ultimately to be dishonest with yourself. So when you understand that, when you start to question these things and you start to realize what is the most basic way to build your life force energy, and the moment you start to detach from all these things you thought it would, that all these commitments that you're brainwashed that you should have, that you should, as soon as you remove all of these jumper leads that are siphoning off your energy into various illusions, and then your life force energy starts to build up, and of course you're brainwashed to believe that that would be selfish if you would allow that to happen. But when you do allow that to happen, actually it's building up your life force energy at the most basic level, which is helping everyone else.